All right, Detroit basketball. And I definitely wanted to get a reaction, win, lose, or draw of the Pistons season opener and a home opener tomorrow versus Atlanta. Pistons win 119-110. A lot of great things to talk about. Derrick Rose, man, was amazing, but I think what was more amazing than Derrick Rose scoring and all the moves he was doing was, I think, the confidence he injected into Luke Kennard. And Luke Kennard was amazing. If you see my Piston preview video today, I think Luke Kennard was my X factor. He's my biggest thing other than health, and I think I said load management, health. I think those are two things I said, and I think Luke Kennard was the next biggest thing I spoke on. But it was a good game, man. I was trying to switch back and forth between Philly for a minute, and the Philly game just didn't have a sizzle. So I was watching my dog, and then I got to watching the Pistons game, man, and I was impressed with a few players on the floor, Pistons or Pacers, man. And let's talk about the Pacers stat line. Myles Turner had 25 and 9. He had like 4 or 5 3-pointers. Sabonis had 27 and 14. Malcolm Brogdon had 22, 11 and 3, and I think that's a huge loss for Milwaukee. T.J. Warren had 10 and 1 rebound. Usually when he's healthy, he'll stuff the stat sheet. Jeremy Lamb didn't do too much of nothing. And thing was, the Pacers bench didn't give him nothing. They had a 6-point. Edmund Summer had 6 points. That was their high off the bench, tied with Doug McDermott. So that was the difference. The benches was the difference. Pistons Drummond, I mean, if you look at his draft FanDuel and DraftKings stats, he had like 80 points. 32 and 23 tonight. 23 big rebounds, and it was a meaningful 32-23 because they needed it. No Blake, and he stepped up, and we're going to talk about that. Tony Snell's 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Bruce Brown, 7 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Markieff, he had some big buckets early. 8 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. Reggie was 5 points, 5 assists, 1 rebound. And Markieff and Reggie was coming into the game with an injury. It wasn't even known if they was going to play. Luke Kennard had 30 off the bench, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. D. Rose had 18 points, 9 assists, 2 rebounds. And Langston had 5 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. And Thon had 4 points, 2 rebounds off the bench. And Tim Frazier played a minute. Christian Woods only played 4. And Dre logged, I think, I know it's a Piston high, 41 minutes. And let me check the Pacers. It was a Pacer high. Myles Turner and Andre Drummond, they logged the most minutes. Dre had 41, and Turner had 38. So you didn't see that back in the day where the big man had the most minutes. So that was a great thing about it, man. But storyline was Andre Drummond, Luke Kennard, Derrick Rose in that order. Andre Drummond played like he knew he had to step up. He played like he wanted max extension. And he don't necessarily have to go out there and give us a 32-23 to be a max player. But if he can get that effort on the defensive end, forget the rebound, it's going to be there. And forget the points for a second. If he can play like he did, inspired, motivated, tough, on the defensive end, and just a lot of the intangible things, he brought a lot of heart. He brought a lot of toughness down there. And tonight, that was a super duper max player. That's a guy that deserves the 40, 41, or 39 million per year, whatever it averages out to. But he was tough. And Myles Turner, he ain't no bum. Myles Turner is good, man. That's one of my homies, peoples from down there in Dallas. He from Dallas. And he hit some shots today. He was shooting that 3-pointer like a guard, man. And, Malcolm Brogdon was really good today. He made a couple steals or a couple big plays on the defensive end. He ran the offense well. And I'm very interested to see if Victor Oladipo, who announced the crowd today, when he get healthy December, January, how good Brogdon and Victor Oladipo can be, not only offensively, but defensively. They might be the best defensive backcourt in the league. But I was impressed with a number of players. Brogdon was one. Turner impressed me with his 3-point shot. Sabonis impressed me as well. But nobody impressed me more than Andre Drummond and Luke Kennard and Derrick Rose. And they balled out. And Derrick Rose is going to bring the best out of Luke Kennard. And they said during the broadcast, Derrick Rose said Luke Kennard don't know how good he is yet. And I agree. And Dwayne ran some plays for him today. And they got him involved. And like I said before, they're going to need they're gonna need his ability, his skill set. Not only his shooting, which is very, very key, but his ability to score, his ability to put the ball on the floor. Him and Derrick Rose belong on the bench. Now everybody don't want to hear about D Rose being on the bench, why Reggie need to start. Well, once you put Blake back out there, really it's a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? Because Blake want to handle the ball, Derrick Rose want to handle the ball. They both out there to score. All right. Reggie Jackson don't have to go out there and be, Isaiah Thomas. So he don't have to go out there and be James Harden. If he could just hit his open shots and run the offense good enough, that's good. That's good enough. But that surge off the bench in depth is one of the Pistons' strength right now while they're healthy. And your second team go out there against another team's second team. You got Derrick Rose coming off the bench. And you got him and Luke Kennard playing very, very well together. And that can buy Blake some time to rest. That can buy Dre some time to rest. And, it's humongous. It's very, very, it's huge, man, for what he bringing off the bench. And just because he don't start, don't mean he won't play the critical minutes in the fourth quarter. If he got the high hand and he doing and he just on, then Reggie Jackson just gonna have to ride the pine in the fourth quarter. It don't matter if Derrick Rose start or don't start, but I prefer him coming off the bench because our bench is gonna be key. And also, he is going to play by the Pistons standards full-time minutes. He gonna play like 25. I'm gonna say about 30 minutes a game, 25 to 30 minutes a game. Him and Jackson is gonna be two part-time point guards forming a full-time point guard. So it don't matter who start. You don't want to put all your firepower in your first lineup. Obviously, in my opinion, the way Luke Kennard played today, he played like that. You can go out there, D Rose, Luke Kennard, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, and you could throw Tony Snell out there. But then you look at your bench. Come on, who's scoring? Who's scoring? Who's scoring off the bench? Or you can leave Markieff in there. Who's scoring off the bench? Bruce Brown? Tony Snell? Who's scoring off the bench? And Derrick Rose, nobody ever questioned his talent and him still being able to ball. It's about the longevity and him staying healthy. So they got to manage that as well, too. I have no problem with Reggie continuing to start, especially when Blake come back. It's no problem because Rose is going to play his role. If Rose got the high hand, he going to be that guy in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? So, Penn saying, he need to start don't really mean nothing. Who playing in the fourth quarter? So, at the end of the day, Andre Drummond played like a super duper max player tonight. Derrick Rose played good tonight. He only played 27 minutes. Reggie played 20 minutes tonight. So, he going to get that. Some nights, Reggie going to play 28. Other nights, Derrick Rose going to play 20. That is what it is. I won't read too much into that, but really I wasn't disappointed in nobody tonight from the Pistons. They made shots when they need to. I did get a little bit mad in the second quarter when they finally gave up the lead, and then the Pacers left the half with the lead at the end. But they showed a lot of resiliency, and most thing I was impressed about Andre Drummond was his effort, his heart, his drive, his stamina tonight. That was the most impressive thing about him. And Markieff hit some good shots, man. Markieff was making some good shots. He was putting on the floor and killing Sabonis. So he a guy that came in with an injury, and Reggie Jackson the guy that came in with an injury. So they wasn't even 100% sure to play. So overall, keep running plays for Luke Kennard. Keep Luke and Derrick Rose playing together. And preferably off the bench when Blake come back. Now if Reggie's struggling and he ain't healthy, then you throw Derrick Rose in there. But remember, what y'all got to understand is Derrick Rose cannot play 40 minutes a night, 82-game season. No matter how hard he worked, that's not his body no more. It never probably was his body. I think that was a big mistake for Tom Thibodeau to run him into the ground. I really think they should have had Derrick Rose on the pitch count. Had Derrick Rose probably came in the league 5 years later, 6-7 years later when load management was cool, I think that the injuries never would have happened. And he never played for Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau was the worst thing that happened for Derrick Rose's career. He just ran the dude into the ground. But he played fantastic tonight. But that's what you want. You want him around that 20 to 28 minute. He's played 27 minutes. That 20 to 27 minute mark. Even though people say, "Oh, Reggie started," but hey, Derrick Rose played 7 more minutes. You want that balance because Blake gonna provide the scoring. Drake gonna provide, some scoring. Markeith, when he get 100%, he gonna provide some scoring, and Reggie gonna give you some scoring here and there. But the Pistons might have the best duo off the bench, Luke and Derrick Rose, at least in the East. And if Frazier can get them something, and Thon or Langston give them something, they rotate, they should be all right. And I like the team, man. And I spoke with Luke Kennard today. He was a sticking point about the season preview. And that's what he got to do, man. Dwayne got to run plays for him. And Derrick Rose is like his hype man. You know what I'm saying? He like his Flavor Flav. He getting this dude in spots, and I think he kind of mentoring him. But I expect Indiana to be there at the end, especially if Oladipo come back healthy. I think they're gonna be there somewhere in the Eastern Conference semifinals, if not the finals. Philadelphia wasn't impressing me today. I didn't continue to watch the game. Boston, I think they figured out. Jason Tatum taking a lot more shots, and that's the difference. There's no Terry Rozier, there's no Kyrie Irving there to steal shots for him. Jason Tatum looking like the man. You know what I'm saying? He looking like the man out there. So I like what Boston doing. I think Brad Stevenson can be comfortable with Rozier gone and Kyrie gone and the other Morris gone. I think he'd be comfortable. Other than that, we got Atlanta tomorrow. I might try and make it down there. My daughter, she don't want to spend volleyball practice. She want to go, so I might not. But I want to see Trae Young at least one time they come. And Cam Reddish. They voted Cam Reddish to probably be the best player out of this draft by the other rookies. He was really good high school player. So you want to go check the Hawks out, man. I mean, Cam Reddish, Hunter, Trae Young, John Collins III. Really young and exciting team, man. I remember when the Hawks had the colorful key. That used to be a thing. The Hornets had the little blue and purple key, and then the Hawks had the red and black key, and then the Hawks' wings spread across the court. And then back when they had Steve Smith, Mookie Blaylock, and those guys, and remember they had Kevin Willis at a point in time. He from Detroit, I believe, too. So the Hawks, man, one thing I like about the Hawks is when I watch that game, and some Falcon games too, it's predominantly black people there. When you go ahead and watch some of these pro games, you don't see a lot of black people in the crowd. So that's one thing I like about Atlanta. And I love Trae Young. Love his game. So I'm interested to see how we look on the back-to-back. Interested to see how Dre look on the back-to-back. Interested to see how Rose look on the back-to-back. Morris and Jackson after being injured. And Luke Kennard putting together consistent 2 games back-to-back. So Philly come in Saturday. And Embiid doing what he do. Y'all know how it is. And that'd be a huge test for Andre Drummond. But Drummond keep playing like this, he going to get that extension. But that ain't never been a problem. Drummond do this every now and again. It's about stringing them together and being consistent. Not 30, 20, and 20-20. Just being that rock in the middle of the defense and playing with energy. He do that on a night-to-night basis. And just keep getting better. I don't have a problem playing him because he's durable. Character is great. Good for the city. It's never been personal about Drummond. Drummond representing us well. But congratulations to Casey and the Pistons, man. One win up. And we got 39 to beat Vegas, 38 over and under number. So shout out to the Pacers. I think they'll be there at the end. They'll get better. But tonight was the better team. 110 to 119. Pistons lifting the city up after the Lions traded Diggs and they losing to Michigan. Michigan State losing. So we got Michigan State, #1 basketball team in the country. Michigan, they unranked, but we look forward to them doing big things down the line. And Detroit Pistons open up the season with a dub. Motor City Sports Talk. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Share the videos, want to make a donation, links in the description. It was Dre Day today. Check out my other channel, Goodfellas Sports TV, for more sports, music, entertainment. One time for the one time. We gone.